Who could resist a little turtle with a watermelon shell? The round watermelon pattern and tiny fluffy shell make it look so soft and calming to crochet. Today I'll show you step by step how to make this cute little watermelon turtle, and it's very beginner friendly too. If you'd like something easier to follow later, or you don't want to keep pausing and rewinding the video, the full written PDF pattern is also available in my Etsy shop. Alright, let's crochet it together. For this tutorial, I'm using DK weight, yarn size 3, with a 3.0mm crochet hook. Let's start with the base of our little turtle here. This is the belly section. We're starting with a magic ring here. Make 6 single crochets into the ring. Hold your yarn gently here, and bring it over your finger. Wrap it once around, and hold the crossing point steady. Go ahead and insert your hook into the ring. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over here, and pull back through. Tighten the ring and chain 1 to start. This chain does not count as a stitch. Go back into the ring. Pull up a loop nice and steady. Yarn over again, and pull through both loops. That completes your first single crochet. We'll be using yarn under single crochet here. Place a stitch marker in the first stitch, and keep going with the same motion. Continue until you have 6 stitches, then gently pull the ring closed. Once it's tight, we'll move on. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Go into that first stitch. Pull the yarn through gently. Catch the loop on your hook, and pull it through. That completes your slip stitch. And that finishes round 1. For round 2, we'll increase in every stitch. That means 2 single crochets in each stitch. You'll end with 12 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Go into the first stitch. Place your marker in that first stitch. Stay in the same stitch, and make another single crochet. Repeat this all the way around, same rhythm here. Nice and steady. Once you finish the round, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 2. You can trim the yarn tail slightly. Now we'll move into round 3. This is where it starts to change. 1 single crochet, then 1 increase. Repeat 6 times. You'll have 18 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place your marker. Start with 1 single crochet, then an increase in the next stitch. Repeat this pattern. Same rhythm here. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that's round 3 done. For round 4, we build a bit more shape. 1 single crochet, then 1 increase, then 1 single crochet. Repeat 6 times for 24 stitches. Chain 1 and place your marker. Start your first single crochet. Then an increase. Then 1 single crochet. Repeat this all the way around. Remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. That completes round 4. Now into round 5. This repeats evenly. 3 single crochets and 1 increase. Repeat 6 times. You'll have 30 stitches. Chain 1 and place your marker. Make 3 single crochets, then 1 increase. Repeat around. Once finished, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that's round 5 done. Now, round 6. We'll build a bit more width here. 2 single crochets, then 1 increase, then 2 single crochets. Repeat 6 times. You'll end with 36 stitches. Chain 1 and place your marker. And begin here. Make 2 single crochets, then 1 increase, then 2 single crochets. Repeat this pattern around. Once all 6 sets are done, slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 6. Now let's start round 7. For this round, make 5 single crochets, then 1 increase. Repeated 6 times. You'll have 42 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 5 single crochets, then make 1 increase. Repeat that pattern 6 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 7. Now for round 8, make 3 single crochets, 1 increase, then 3 single crochets. You'll have 48 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 8. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 3 single crochets, then make 1 increase. Then make 3 more single crochets. Repeat this full set 6 times. Once it's done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to close the round. And that completes round 8. Now, for round 9, make 7 single crochets, then 1 increase. Repeat 6 times for 54 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 7 single crochets. Then make 1 increase. Repeat this set 6 times. Just keep going around. Same rhythm here. When the round is done, remove the marker, slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 9. For round 10, make 54 single crochets. Chain 1 to begin round 10. Place your marker in the first stitch. Work 54 single crochets around. When round 10 is done, remove the marker, slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 10. At this point, the turtle belly section is finished. Make 1 chain to secure it. Leave just a short yarn tail. Cut the yarn and gently pull it tight. And the little turtle belly is all done. Now let's start the turtle head. We'll use a magic ring again. Make 6 single crochets into the ring. Place your marker in the first stitch. After 6 stitches, pull the ring closed. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 1 of the head. For round 2, increase in every stitch. You'll have 12 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 2. When you're ready, place your marker in the first stitch. Make your single crochet increase. Repeat the increases 6 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 2 of the head. Let's move into round 3. Make 1 single crochet, then 1 increase. Repeat 6 times for 18 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 3. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 1 single crochet. Then increase in the next stitch. Repeat this set 6 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Next, rounds 4 and 5 are the same. 18 single crochets around. For round 4, chain 1 to begin. Place your marker in the first stitch. Work 18 single crochets around. When round 4 is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 4. Round 5 is worked the same way. When finished, slip stitch into the first stitch, and round 5 of the head is done. Now let's make round 6. For round 6, make 4 single crochets, then 1 decrease, repeated 3 times. You'll have 15 stitches. Chain 1 to begin. Place your marker in the first stitch. Now let's learn the decrease. Each stitch makes a little V shape. For the decrease, use the front loops only, and combine 2 stitches into one. The front loop is the loop closest to you. That's the front half of the stitch. Find the first stitch, insert into the front loop, then find the second stitch. Insert into the front loop again. Yarn over here. Pull the yarn through gently. Yarn over again, and pull through both loops. That completes the decrease. Now continue with 4 single crochets and 1 decrease. Repeat that set 3 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 6. Next, round 7 is 15 single crochets around. Chain 1 to begin round 7. Place your marker in the first stitch. Work 15 single crochets around. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that completes round 7. Now, let's make round 8. 3 single crochets and 1 decrease. Repeat 3 times for 12 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 8. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 3 single crochets. Then make 1 decrease. Repeat this set 3 times. Once it's done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 8 is finished here, and the turtle head is all crocheted. Leave a long yarn tail here. A little longer is better. We'll use it later to close and sew the head. Now add stuffing into the head. Once the stuffing is in, fold the head flat and sew it closed, starting from the slip stitch area. Sew into the matching stitch across. Try to match 1 stitch to 1 stitch. We can sew 3 stitches first. The rest can be sewn freely. There's no strict rule here. These 2 side stitches can be sewn now, or left open for now. You can secure them later during assembly. Either way works just fine. You can also bring the sewing needle to the other side and add 2 more stitches to shape it. Once it's secured, bring the yarn tail to the back side. Where the slip stitch seam is, choose the slip stitch area, and follow the stitch texture. Hide the yarn tail inside the stitches. Trim the extra yarn after hiding it. And the turtle head is fully finished. All 4 legs are made the same way. We need to make 4 pieces. Start each leg with a magic ring. Make 6 single crochets into the ring. If you're new, mark the first stitch. After 6 stitches, pull the ring closed. Remove the marker and join to the first stitch. You can crochet over the yarn tail as you join. And round 1 of the leg is done. For round 2, increase in every stitch. You'll have 12 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 2. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make your single crochet increase. Repeat the increases 6 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 2 of the leg is done. For round 3, make 1 single crochet, then 1 increase. Repeat 6 times for 18 stitches. Chain 1 to begin round 3. Place your marker in the first stitch. Make 1 single crochet, then make 1 increase. Repeat this set 6 times. When the round is done, remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 3 of the leg is done. For round 4, fold the piece and make 9 single crochets. Chain 1 to begin round 4. Insert into the first stitch and into the matching stitch across. Go through both layers together, then make a regular single crochet. This is how we crochet it folded. Make 9 single crochets in total. Make the first single crochet, then the second one. Remember to go through both layers. Each stitch goes through both sides. Repeat this for 9 stitches. After 9 stitches, chain 1 and cut the yarn. You only need a short tail here. Gently tighten the loop. Thread the tail onto your sewing needle. Insert from the last stitch and follow the stitch texture through. Just hide the yarn tail inside. Then trim the extra short tail. And now, 1 turtle leg is finished. Keep the same steps and make 4 legs in total. Next, we'll start crocheting the turtle shell. We're starting again with the magic ring here. Make 9 half double crochets. Hold the yarn with your pinky. Bring the yarn over your index finger. Wrap it once around your middle finger. Hold the cross section with your thumb. Insert your hook through the loop and pull the yarn through. Chain 1 to start. This starting chain does not count as a stitch. Now make 9 half double crochets into the ring. Let's look at the half double crochet together. Yarn over. Go through the ring. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that makes 1 half double crochet. Place a stitch marker into the first stitch. Using that same method, repeat until you have 9 stitches. Nine half double crochets. Once they're done, tighten the ring. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that finishes round 1. For round 2, we'll make 9 half double crochet increases. You'll have 18 stitches total. Start with a chain 1. A half double crochet increase means making 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. Then make another half double crochet in the same stitch. That's 1 increase. Repeat that 9 times. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 2 is now complete. For round 3, we'll make 1 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet increase all the way around. You'll have 27 stitches total. Start with a chain 1. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. Make 1 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet increase. Repeat that 9 times. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that finishes round 3. For round 4, we'll make 1 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet increase, then 1 more half double crochet as the repeat. You'll have 36 stitches total. Start with a chain 1. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. Make 1 half double crochet, then 1 half double crochet increase, then 1 half double crochet. Repeat that 9 times. After finishing the last stitch of round 4, pull the loop slightly longer, then insert your hook through these 3 loops. We'll change color here. Take the new yarn color, leave a short tail, and hold it behind the piece. Pull the new yarn through, then remove the stitch marker, slip stitch into the first stitch to join. When you make the slip stitch, hold the new yarn on top of your hook. Then take the old yarn and tighten it gently. Place it over the hook too, so we can crochet over it. Slip stitch. Tighten it up. For the yarn we don't need anymore, leave a short tail and cut it. And that's the color change done. Round 4 is now complete. Now, let's move on to round 5. For round 5, we'll make 3 single crochets and 1 increase for each repeat, 45 stitches total. Start with a chain 1. Here we'll use regular single crochet. Yarn over from under the yarn and pull it through. This is a regular single crochet. Place a stitch marker into the first stitch. As you crochet here, crochet over the yarn tails. Three single crochets and 1 increase. Repeat that 9 times. At the last stitch here, pull the loop longer again, then change color. The color change method is the same. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that finishes round 5. Now let's crochet round 6. For round 6, make 2 single crochets, 1 increase, then 2 single crochets for each repeat, 54 stitches total. Start with a chain 1. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. Two single crochets, 1 increase, 2 single crochets. Repeat that 9 times. The last stitch here will change color again. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that finishes round 6. Rounds 7 and 8 are both 54 single crochets with no increases. For round 7, start with a chain 1. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. Single crochet 54 times. Remove the stitch marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Round 7 is complete. Round 8 is worked the same as round 7. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. Leave a long yarn tail here, so we can sew the shell to the belly later. Make sure this tail is a little longer. Then pull the yarn through. And now the turtle shell is complete. Next, take your sewing needle and thread it with black yarn, so we can sew on the watermelon seeds. I'm using 3 strands of black yarn here. Start from the back and pick up any stitch, then bring the yarn through first. Right here, you can pass through the knot area. To secure it in place, you can go through once more. For the watermelon seeds, you can sew them however you like. Once the seeds are sewn on, secure the yarn on the back. Trim off the extra yarn, tail. And now the watermelon seeds are done. Once all the pieces are finished, we can start assembling. Next, sew the shell and belly together, starting from the slip stitch area. Just match each stitch one by one. Sew the first stitch twice, to secure it first. Tuck the yarn tail inside. After that, we'll just sew one stitch to one stitch. After sewing about 4 or 5 stitches, we'll add the turtle head. One side of the head has no slip stitch, and one side has a slip stitch. The slip stitch side is the back. The side without the slip stitch is the front. Then insert the needle from the first stitch underneath. So this part I stitch 2, 1 stitch 2, and at this position, we can secure it with 1 extra stitch. Adding 1 extra stitch means sewing twice into the same stitch. After that, just keep sewing 1 stitch to 1 stitch. Keep matching 1 stitch to 1 stitch, and finish this part on your own. The sewing method is the same. When you sew to this point, leave a small opening, then add stuffing. After stuffing, close the opening. Once the stuffing is in, close the remaining opening. When adding the stuffing, shape it as you go, so it looks nice and rounded. Once it's sewn closed, hide the yarn tail for a few stitches in an area with the same color. Then trim off the extra yarn tail. And now the shell and belly are sewn together. Next, we'll glue on the forelegs. Find a good position first, then glue the legs in place. After the legs are attached, glue the eyes in place too. And here, our watermelon turtle is fully finished. Last, hide any remaining yarn tails and this fresh little watermelon. And that's it for today. Our little watermelon turtle is all finished now. I really hope you enjoyed crocheting along with me today. If you make one too, I'd love to see your version someday. And if you get stuck anywhere while making it, feel free to leave me a comment. I'm always happy to help.